Hey, Real Talk is here. Leon, a quiet and efficient hitman, lives a low-profile life in New York City. His work is clean and deadly, but outside of his jobs, he also prefers to stay under the radar. Everything changes when the family of a 12-year-old girl, Matilda, is brutally murdered next door. Desperate for revenge, Matilda sneaks into Leon's apartment and asks him to teach her how to kill.
And stop saying okay all the time, okay?
The story begins with two men talking in a small Italian restaurant in Little Italy. Tony, the restaurant owner, gives Leon a job: eliminate a man named Mr. Jones, who's become a problem for one of Tony's associates. Next, we follow Leon as he heads to the hotel where Mr. Jones is staying. Jones, guarded by his security team, is unaware that he's about to be hunted. One by one, his bodyguards are taken down by Leon, swift and silent. Realizing he's in danger, Mr. Jones orders his men to deal with the intruder, but they all meet the same fate. Panicked, Jones tries to hide, but Leon catches him, holding a knife to his throat. Leon forces him to make a phone call.
Nico, it's Roman. Let's go bowling.
And on the other end of the line, Jones is warned to leave the city immediately if he wants to live. With that, Leon vanishes into the shadow. Leon, after finishing the job, heads home, stopping by the store for his usual carton of milk. On his way up to his apartment, he runs into Matilda, his 12-year-old neighbor. She's sporting a bruise on her cheek, and when Leon asks what happened, she brushes it off, claiming she fell off her bike. She makes him promise not to tell her family that she smokes. Meanwhile, inside Matilda's apartment, there's a confrontation going on between her father and two men. One of them, Norman Stansfield, accuses her father of stealing illegal substances. A month ago, they gave him a package of pure product, but when it was returned, the quality had dropped. Stansfield, refusing to listen to excuses, gives him one day to fix the problem. Leon's life continues on, and we see him in his routine when he's not working. He spends his time doing laundry, exercising, and going to the movies. He's got no friends, except for a small plant he takes care of, calling it his only companion. Leon doesn't even sleep in his bed, instead resting in an armchair with a gun nearby. Matilda's home life, on the other hand, is a mess. The only person she truly cares about is her little brother. The rest of her family barely pays attention to her. One day, after a fight with her sister, Matilda ends up with a bloody nose. Leon sees her again and offers her a tissue. Grateful, she promises to buy him milk and heads to the store. Just after she leaves, Stansfield and his men storm into her apartment. They eliminate everyone inside: her father, stepmother, sister, and little brother. When Matilda returns, she instantly knows something terrible has happened. Instead of going home, she walks past her door and knocks on Leon's apartment, begging him to let her in. At first, Leon hesitates, torn between staying out of trouble and helping her, but eventually, he opens the door. Meanwhile, Stansfield and his gang leave the scene after finding the stuff they came for. Inside his apartment, Leon tries to comfort Matilda, but his efforts don't do much to calm her down. Later, while Leon is out picking up some milk, Matilda snoops around and finds his stash of weapons. She quickly figures out that Leon is a professional killer. Instead of being scared, Matilda sees this as a chance. She offers Leon a deal: she'll take care of the cooking and cleaning, and in return, Leon has to teach her how to kill. Leon is reluctant but agrees to think about it and sends her to bed. That night, Leon realizes he's made a big mistake by letting her stay. At one point, he almost kills her while she's asleep, but he stops himself at the last second. The next morning, he tries to send her away, but after some convincing, Matilda makes it clear she's not going anywhere. Finally, Leon gives in and agrees to teach her. They move into a new apartment together. From then on, Leon starts training Matilda. He tells her that beginners start with rifles, taking shots from a distance. As they get more skilled, the job gets more up close and dangerous. The ultimate test of a hitman's skill is using a knife. Matilda picks up the training quickly, hitting her first target with paint on her first try.
I'm alright, I'm fine.
Their days fall into a routine: housework, weapons training, and physical exercise. Matilda also helps Leon improve his English, something he never got around to learning properly. In their downtime, they play games and bond, becoming closer. Leon even opens up to her about his plant, which he considers his best friend. To Leon, Matilda starts to feel like the daughter he never had. He grows protective of her, shielding her from the dangers of his violent world. But Matilda's feelings go deeper. She confesses that she's in love with him, catching Leon completely off guard. Uncomfortable and unsure how to respond, Leon pulls away, trying to focus on his work to avoid dealing with the complicated emotions building between them. Though life is still dangerous and unpredictable, this unlikely partnership between Leon and Matilda creates a bond that neither of them ever expected, one that will change both of their lives forever. Matilda, upset and determined, returns to her family's apartment, gathering a few belongings and stumbling upon her father's hidden stash of cash. Just as she's about to leave, Norman Stansfield shows up with two police officers. They start questioning him about the shootout, but Stansfield dismisses them them, telling them to take it up with his office. Watching from the shadows, Matilda realizes that the man who killed her family is actually a cop, and not just any cop, but one working in the narcotics division. Later, she hands Leon the $20,000 she found in her father's hiding spot, but Leon refuses to take it. He tells her the task she's asking for is too dangerous. Killing someone, he warns, changes everything. But Matilda, her heart hardened by the loss of her little brother, isn't swayed. She insists she won't rest until she avenges him. Seeing Leon's hesitation, Matilda suggests a game. She loads 3 bullets into the revolver, spins the cylinder, and points it at her own head. If she dies, Leon's problems disappear. If she survives, she stays with him forever. Leon manages to stop her just in time, yanking the gun from her hand. Afterward, Leon takes Matilda to meet Tony, the man who assigns his jobs. He informs Tony that he's decided to train her. Tony is far from thrilled but reluctantly agrees, giving them simple assignments. Leon continues to teach Matilda, showing her one way to enter a target's apartment: cover the peephole with gum to confuse the occupant before slipping inside. Once in, Leon demonstrates the method of a clean kill: 1 shot to the stomach, 1 to the heart or lungs. He advises against shooting in the head, too messy, and it makes identifying the body harder. Matilda, in her own way, contributes by destroying the target's drugs, remarking that more people die from drugs than bullets. After the job, they head to a restaurant to celebrate Matilda's progress. She once again tells Leon she loves him, but he firmly asks her to stop with such talk. Despite her feelings, Leon remains focused on their work, and Matilda's skills continue to improve. One day, things go sideways on a job when their target opens fire on them. Leon, ever the professional, quickly saves Matilda and uses his signature move, throwing a grenade into the apartment, killing the target in the blast. Knowing the risks of his profession, Leon asks Tony to make sure that if anything happens to him, all of his money goes to Matilda. He then takes off for a few days, determined to deal with Stansfield, the men who destroyed Matilda's family, but he doesn't tell her his plan. Left alone, Matilda grows restless. Unable to bear it any longer, she gears up and heads straight for Stansfield. With surprising ease, she sneaks into the police building and tracks him down. Unfortunately, Stansfield catches on and confronts her in the men's bathroom. At first, he assumes she's been sent by someone to kill him, but when Matilda reveals she's there on her own, seeking revenge for her family, Stansfield decides to kill her, only to be interrupted by one of his men. The officer informs Stansfield that their colleague, Malky, has been killed by a hitman. Annoyed, Stansfield orders that Matilda be taken to his office while he deals with the situation. Meanwhile, Leon returns home and finds a note from Matilda, explaining her intentions and once again confessing her love for him. Shocked, Leon races to the police station, taking out 2 of Stansfield's men and rescuing Matilda in the process. Once they're back home, Matilda wears the dress Leon gave her. She tells him she loves him again and offers to make love to him. Leon, clearly uncomfortable, gently rejects her, saying it wouldn't be right. Matilda then asks for one favor. She doesn't like that Leon sleeps in a chair, so she wants them to sleep in a bed, like normal people. At first, Leon resists, saying it's too dangerous given his line of work, but he eventually agrees. That night, Stansfield and his men show up at Tony's place. Based on the descriptions from his surviving officers, Stansfield suspects an Italian hitman is behind the attacks on his crew. He pressures Tony for answers. The next morning, Matilda heads to the store for groceries, while Leon, for the first time in years, sleeps in an actual bed and likes it. Before she leaves, he asks her to remember their secret knock before entering. When Matilda returns, she's ambushed by a SWAT team. They grill her for information and head for Leon's apartment. But because Matilda gives them the wrong knock, Leon is tipped off and takes out the first wave of attackers with ease. Outside, Stansfield realizes that his men won't stand a chance against a pro like Leon, so he calls in reinforcements. Inside, Leon continues to pick off the second group of assaulters. When one of the officers tries to check the situation, Leon takes him hostage and demands they release Matilda. After freeing her, Leon and Matilda retreat to the kitchen. Snipers from across the street attempt to take Leon out, but they miss. As a last-ditch effort, Leon hacks through the ventilation system with an axe, creating an escape route for Matilda and his beloved plant. Matilda protests, knowing there's not enough space for both of them. Leon promises her that he'll find a way out on his own and that once they're free, they'll leave the city and start fresh together. He tells her it's time for him to finally put down roots. As he lowers her into the vent, Leon whispers that he loves her. Just then, the SWAT team blows the door and charges the apartment. Amidst the chaos, they find a room full of dead bodies, but one of the officers is still breathing. They bring him downstairs for medical attention, but as they work to stabilize him, it's revealed that the injured officer is Leon in disguise. Unfortunately, Stansfield spots him as he tries to escape and shoots him in the back. As Leon lies dying, he hands Stansfield a parting gift from Matilda, a live grenade. After losing Leon, Matilda finds her way back to Tony. He promises to look after her, handing her small amounts of money each month. Devastated by yet another loss, Matilda returns to the school her father once enrolled her in. In the final scene, she plants Leon's beloved plant in the ground, fulfilling his last wish to finally take root. Leon is a deep dive into questions of morality and ethics. It challenges viewers to consider where the line between good and evil truly lies, and whether violence can ever be justified in the name of vengeance or protection. The bond between Leon and Matilda raises complex themes of loneliness, survival, and the search for meaning. Through their relationship, we see how circumstances shape who we are and what values truly matter. It's a film that leaves a lasting impression, evoking a wide range of emotions, from compassion and empathy to anger and sorrow. Despite its brutal portrayal of reality, the movie reveals the beauty of human connections and the resilience of the human spirit. Leon is a powerful work that makes you reflect on life, death, love, and solitude, and one that each viewer will interpret in their own way. Share your thoughts in the comments, and a huge thanks to everyone who subscribes and put thumbs up. See you in the next one.